What's up, folks? This is Crypto James talking to you today about Chain XCN. Chain, really recently launched, high market cap, and to be fair, it's going up while everything else is going down. So I'm going to talk about this. There's one cause for concern for me. Before I get into it, a bit of the spreadsheet. The first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I released videos about them, and you were still holding it all, you'd be in profit for over 12 grand. This is obviously after huge market retracements. I mean, hell, guys, we're in a bear cycle. Bear cycle is a wonderful thing. Bear cycle is where you invest. Bear cycle is where the real profit is made. Everyone can make a quick profit here and there in a bull cycle, but a bear cycle, you pick the right coins, you got a hell of a shot of early retirement. It's always the goal. I've been saying for about 6 months, build your list of coins that you're excited about long term. Hopefully everyone's been doing that. If you haven't, you've still got time. Bear cycles tend to last a while. There's still definitely market retracements and drops to come. If you don't have the time, the energy, you can see what I'm getting into on Copy My Crypto, where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, and it will be where I'm sharing those bear cycle investments, those ones that I think are 20x, 40x, 100x or more. So if you want to know where they are, you can click the link in the description and check it out. My Chain, weird name. Market cap of 1.7. It's only literally been out for a month, 2 months. Interesting one. So Chain is a cloud blockchain infrastructure that basically enables organizations to build financial services from the ground up. It was acquired by Stellar, and it's basically an arm of Stellar Lumens. So Adam Ludwin was the original founder of Chain. Prior to Chain, he studied at UC Berkeley, began his career as a consultant, Boston Consulting Group, MBA from Harvard, did an early stage venture capital with a focus on fintech. Chain was acquired by Lightyear Group, which is Lightyear Corp, which is the commercial arm of the Stellar Development Foundation, which is the organization behind the Lumens crypto. The price of the acquisition was not disclosed. Forbes claimed it's around $500 million, which was paid in Lumens. And Chain's now a privately held corporation with a newly established board of directors. This is an interesting one. So when we actually take a look in terms of let me get that up and then documentation. So this whole concept is effectively enterprise, right? Chain's aims to build cryptographic ledgers that underpin financial products and services. They raised about $40 million from some serious investors. NASDAQ, Capital One, Citigroup, Orange, Visa, Pantera. These are not small. These are massive. So that's a surprising to see people like corporations like NASDAQ, Citigroup. Not Citigroup so much. Citigroup getting into crypto. So the whole concept is that as I said, the Chain is partnered with industry leaders to bring blockchain networks to market, working with some of the biggest institutions around. They identify market opportunities, they design blockchain solutions, they build demos, they do market studies, they do implementation. They run through the effective sequence of how things get up and running. Is built for deploying, operating, and connecting blockchain networks. Key feature is include HSM integration, scalability, availability and storage, as well as enhanced privacy, custom smart contract support. Now, in particular, what's interesting is the scalability. They're saying that they can scale to hundreds of servers across many data centers, such that the failure of any one component doesn't impact the health of the overall system. And it's integrates with existing financial core services easily. In terms of the actual SDKs, they're all up and running. They've got the ledgers all up and running, so the ledgers are immediately applicable to whichever financial institution chooses to use them. In terms of tokens, so all value in ledger is represented as tokens, whether it's USD or and you can denote the value of it, so whether it's USD or points. Now, one thing that I'm curious about, and the info is not as readily available as I would like. There we go. See, that I don't like. Where's my white paper? Because one thing that's worth bearing in mind, although I suppose they denote this as the white paper at this point, is, look, private corporation, and the plan for the sequence is absolutely free for up to 1 million transactions a month, which is pretty impressive. But the actual tokenomics is what I want to see, and it's been a bitch to try and find. So we'll have a look here. Chain token. There we go. So you can stake the chain token to participate in governance. It's obviously a governance token and utility token for chain protocol, so it pays for the utilization of the blockchain. Total supply is going to be 68 billion. Circulating right now is 23 billion. Rewards are going to be 15 billion, and they're designed to be a cashback allocation, rewarding users for on-chain products. These tokens are locked in a smart contract with a monthly release of 100 million across 154 months. They've got 15 billion, in the company. That's released at 100 million over 150 months. 5 billion for the team that can have a monthly release starting next year in April. Same for the company. And the DAO treasury, 100 million across, 10 billion across 100 months. So it does mean that right now there's a couple 100 million being released every month. That will increase to 400 million every month as of April of next year. That is a lot of tokens to all of a sudden be dropping. And that would be my only short-term concern in terms of this. This is obviously a strong project. You don't get the NASDAQ investing in crypto like easily. But as of April next year, basically 400 million every month. So by the end of the year, from April, through to December, that's 8 months. So 3.2 billion added to the supply. It's not a small amount. It does dilute the market cap, but it's actually not the worst when you've got that many tokens out right now. So it's not the worst. And the reward allocations are going to be spread across effectively sort of 12 years or so. And the company rewards are going to be spread across roughly the same time frame. So it's not awful. They've certainly got a long-term view. Right now, I'm not necessarily sure how this is gonna do because it's so new. We're about to hit, we're in the bear cycle, so it'll be interesting to see how much this retraces. But this is a really interesting prospect with some of the strongest investors possible. Very intriguing, very intriguing. And yeah, if this drops into even down to 1 cent or 2 cents, this could be a really good investment just because you're going huge investors, a real long-term plan in terms of the crypto itself. So, by the end of this year, it's a couple 100 million added a month. So you're looking at what, by this time next year, another 2.4 billion-ish added. So the circulating supply will be 19 billion. And then you're adding 4 billion a month, 400 million a month after that. So you add another 3.2. So by the end of next year, there'll be 23 billion tokens knocking about. Yeah. Although, amount circulating. So actually, this is wrong. So my point would be 23 billion is circulating right now. So this actually has a market cap of 2.3 billion based on that. So I think there's probably got to be some drops because that's a massive market cap for something that's just launched, even with the strength of those people. So by the end of this year, or by this time next year, there'll be 26 billion. Then add in another. So you closing in on by Christmas, by New Year of 2023, there'll be about 30 billion tokens. So that's going to increase a fair bit. That's going to increase by about 33%, give or take. Very intriguing one. I'd want to keep an eye on that because those numbers don't matter. They're quite a way away. This is about 50. This is about 50% off where it should be. Very intriguing premise. Very intriguing premise. NASDAQ. Working to build networks for Visa, NASDAQ. If this is successful and it builds networks for NASDAQ, networks for Visa, could be huge success on the horizon for this. I'd be watching this very carefully to see how much it retraces because the aspirations here are huge. And because the tokens are being distributed over the next 12 years, there's definitely a long-term plan here. Definitely one to have on people's radar. Intriguing. Yeah, very intriguing. Anyway, that's it from me. If you're new to crypto or you've been in crypto a while, but if you're not prepared for the bear cycle, come check out Copy My Cryptos where I'm sharing the coins I'm going to be getting in on during the bear. If you want to take out the research for yourself, then you can see exactly what I'm doing. The link, folks, is in the description. Take it easy. Bye-bye.